not Jake Paul. Roy didn't hold back, saying that today's generation of fighters is chasing paychecks instead of purpose. In his eyes, Tank has adopted the same money-first mentality taught by his mentor, Floyd Mayweather. Jones argued that Davis is avoiding the kind of risky matchups that build true greatness and choosing the kind that fill bank accounts. For Roy, it's a reflection of how far the sport has drifted from its roots, from heart and heritage to marketing and money. His words cut deep, reminding everyone that boxing once stood for legacy, not luxury, to asterisk.
The same thing, so why can't he do it? You know what I'm saying? He made more money than anybody. He was smarter than everybody. He didn't take too many stupid risks. That's what he did, and it worked for him. And people okay with that and accepting it, so why can't Tank do it? Tank can do the same thing the mentor did. That's what the mentor is for, to teach you how to do this thing the smart way and not get you hurt, not have to take no risks, not to take many chances. So if that's what you learn, if that's the easy way out, why not do that?
Across the boxing community, the real fight fans crave isn't Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. It's SHAKUR Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis. That's the matchup that embodies the true spirit of competition. Both men are world-class talents, sharpened by years of discipline and defined by natural skill. A fight between them wouldn't be about fame. It would be about proving supremacy in the purest form of boxing. The thought of two technicians colliding, two minds playing chess at lightning speed, has fans waiting in anticipation. Unlike the spectacle of a Jake Paul fight, this one carries legacy on its shoulders. The kind of matchup that defines eras and cements names in history.
If we can get Shakur to have 2 belts, we have Tank to get a couple of belts, and you have a undisputed fight for those two in Las Vegas, in America, between 2 American guys getting undisputed championship of the world, that would be a mega fight. And we're talking about 2 guys that you have the most dominant, persistent, powerful guy, pound for pound powerful guy, I should say, in Tank, who also is very good defensively. But then you're fighting the best defensive fighter in the entire world, in my opinion. That is a fight I would love to see happen. I would be a big fan of, but I think if we could let that kind of fester and develop for a little bit, and we get that fight, summertime next year, fall of next year, where this is an undisputed fight, I think that's the fight we would love to see happen. I would be all for that. And I think it's realistic. Like I said, I don't think Tank's losing to anybody except for possibly Shakur, and I don't think Shakur's losing to anybody except for possibly Tank.
Jones Jr., one of boxing's all-time greats, has also been brutally honest about Jake Paul's ceiling in the sport. He stated with conviction that Jake Paul will never become a legitimate world champion, not out of disrespect, but from an understanding of what real greatness requires. Roy explained that the path to the top is paved with years of sacrifice, experience, and mastery of the craft, not viral fame or hand-picked opponents. He gave Jake credit for improving and bringing new eyes to the sport, but reminded fans that true champions are born from adversity, not convenience. Coming from a man who fought legends and earned his legacy through blood and brilliance, Roy's words carried the weight of truth, the kind Jake can't buy with money or followers.
Will Jake Paul become a world champion?
No.
Why?
I think if they make him fight tough opponents, guys with experience, those guys will beat him. Now, if you catch somebody like myself at the end of their career, or somebody like Tyson, he caught at the end of their career, the chances are much higher. Because now it becomes more of a 50-50. You got a guy who's better than him, but the age factor. You understand me? And that's the only way to balance it for him to make it a 50-50 fight. Somebody who's on his level at the same age, those guys have too much experience.
Yeah.
You understand me? So he's not going to beat those guys. Yeah. But you find a guy who is past his prime, who has a mentality further than his, but past the prime, it kind of evens the stakes.
Former world champion Tim Bradley added a different angle to the debate, claiming that SHAKUR Stevenson doesn't truly need a fight with Tank Davis. In Bradley's view, if SHAKUR genuinely believes Tank hasn't faced real challenges, then chasing him makes little sense. He argued that what SHAKUR really wants is the exposure that comes with Tank's name, because Davis attracts attention, viewership, and dollars. Bradley believes that modern boxing often revolves around spotlight and status more than skill and substance. Still, even he admits that Tank remains a target for SHAKUR, not just because of his fame, but because he represents a powerful symbol, a chance to prove dominance over one of the sport's biggest attractions. Bradley's message was clear. Legacy should outweigh profit, but in today's boxing world, The lines between the two are fading fast.
Elite fighters, so on and so forth. So, with that being said, why even want to entertain the fight with Tank Davis? I mean, how much credit are you going to really get, Shakur, besides the money, right? That's what Tank brings. He brings interest. He brings a lot of fans in the seats, you know. But as far as legacy goes, if people are holding Tank at a very low status, what do you need him? Do you really need him? How you doing, man? Good morning. Do you really need him? Because I personally don't think that you need him. You know, Shakur, you should be here to create your own legacy. You know, you're about the competition. You are about that bread as well, and I think it's important for you to really look at the landscape, man, of boxing and see where your big money fights are, you know, besides Tank Davis. As you know, you hear through the grapevine, I think he even told you on X that, you know, he's contemplating retirement after his Jake Paul fight. You know, you're getting ready, hopefully, if Teofimo Lopez signs the contract, Shakur, to be fighting Teofimo Lopez, who has accomplished quite a bit in the sport, man, and has been in the ring with some legends, Josh Taylor, also Lomachenko. I think that type of fight makes sense. You know, going up to 140 pounds, getting another strap, you know, beating the quote unquote the Ring Magazine champion or the considered the best #1 fighter at 140 pounds.
British boxing legend Carl Froch didn't mince words when he addressed Jake Paul's decision to face Gervonta Davis. He called the move nothing short of bullying, pointing out that Jake is naturally much bigger and heavier, giving him a built-in advantage. Froch argued that such a fight has little to do with boxing skill and everything to do with business. He slammed the matchup as a stunt designed for clicks and cash, not competition and respect. In his eyes, Davis is stepping into a battle where the scales are already tilted. And that's not what boxing was built on. Froch's frustration echoed through the boxing world, a cry to bring back fairness, courage, and the honor that wants to find the sweet science.
I think it's ridiculous. Jake Paul's taking the piss, like he always does. Just from saying, I'm going to fight AJ tonight, he's fighting Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
Who's 100 pounds in weight lighter. 100 pounds. Weight divisions in boxing are split up, some of them, the lower weights, by 3 or 4 pounds. All I can say about Jake Paul fighting somebody half his size is he's a bully. Why are you fighting a guy half his size? It's wrong.
Yeah.
He's gone from Krusty the Clown now to Sideshow Bob. He's getting worse. Do you know what I mean? But like, this is a guy that's just taking a piss out of the sport, and I don't think this is actually gained much interest. The press conference was dead.
Yeah,
I noticed there weren't many press there. It's not had big media coverage.
Yeah.
I think people are finally realising, actually, that this is a big charade. And yeah, I think I'm not impressed. Gervonta Davis, I think maybe he's had enough of the game. He got drawn in his last fight. He was lucky to get the draw as well. But yeah, the whole thing, again, it's a clown show. And Jake Paul's a bully.
Meanwhile, SHAKUR Stevenson poured fuel on the fire with a bold declaration: Tank Davis will never step in the ring with me. His tone wasn't cocky, it was confident. Grounded in his faith in his own skill set, SHAKUR explained that Tank's camp understands exactly what they'd be facing. A master tactician who reads opponents like open books and controls every second of a fight. Stevenson's sharp defense and ring IQ could neutralize Tank's aggression, turning his power into frustration. His comments weren't just words. They were a psychological jab meant to corner Tank into confrontation. But Tank has stayed silent, focused on safer, high-paying fights, leaving fans to wonder if SHAKUR's confidence might just be exposing a truth Tank doesn't want to face.
One more question before I go. Why not fight Tank at 135?
Tank ain't gonna fight him, man. He not gonna fight him.
You gotta realize with Tank, he on that other side with
Take all the cupcakes. Now say it.
Man, I'm quite sure.
Look,
Tank to fight you here. He saying he don't want to put that record up.
Look,
Hey, I know Tank.
It is, man.
I know Tank, Shady.
I know Tank too.
Let him talk. Go ahead.
Hey, I know Tank too, and I know for a fact at the end of the day, like, he is not jumping into no fight with me. Like, that's a whole different type of atmosphere. That's not like fighting up.
So basically, you telling me Tank scared?
I ain't gonna say the man scared. I'm just saying for a fact.
So what
I
you
know
saying?
he not jumping in the ring with me.
Promoter Eddie Hearn added his perspective with unfiltered honesty, saying he never believed Tank Davis took the Jake Paul fight for sporting reasons. According to Hearn, Tank had real options: a rematch with Lamont Roach or the long-awaited clash with Shakur Stevenson. But he chose the path of least resistance and biggest payout. Hearn argued that Davis's decision wasn't about testing his greatness, but securing another bag. He admitted that Jake Paul brings the spectacle and the money, but if Tank truly wanted to prove his legacy, he'd face SHAKUR, a fighter with the patience, precision, and IQ to expose weaknesses. Hearn summed it up with conviction: if they ever share a ring, SHAKUR beats him. Skill beats flash every time.
If you were Tank's promoter, what would the next step be for Tank?
I heard they were going to fight Jake Paul. When I see Jake Paul at the event and I see Jake Paul posting from the private jet with a picture of Gervonta Davis.
Slapped it.
Yeah, but they had that for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You had to buy it. You had to get it made.
Yeah, but I can't believe that fight was going to happen. But anyway, crazy stuff's happening. Yeah, you got to rematch Lamont Roach. You got to. It'll probably get ordered. That's the reality by the New York State Athletic Commission. But listen, they may have got lucky because the only fight for Tank outside of after Lamont Roach was Shakur Stevenson.
Facts.
Right? Now they've got another opponent that will do well at the gate because of the controversy.
Yep.
And it ain't Shakur Stevenson. I keep telling people Shakur Stevenson beats Tank. You cannot say that Shakur Stevenson would not have beaten Tank last Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he would have.